Okay, let's take a look at the week 4 extra credit. Mary, an office manager for our local medical office, needs to complete payroll for the front office clerk who is paid by the hour. Mary should also keep the front office clerk under 40 hours per week to avoid overtime pay. Based on the 2-week timesheet below, how many hours does the office clerk worked over the 2-week period, and does Mary need to pay the front office desk overtime? Okay, so these are in minutes. We're going to need to convert to hours, but I got to change the numbers so we can make this fair. So let me go ahead here. Let me change these numbers here. We'll go 400, 500. We're going to go even here. 450, 500, 450. We'll do this 500, 400, 400, 350, 500. We'll just go ahead and do it that way. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to know how many hours the office clerk worked over the 2-week period. Okay, so we want the whole 2-week period. So really all we have to do here and what you would need to do is just write this out. I know those look like 9s. I'm sorry when my pen on here drags a little bit. But you're just adding all of these. So you just want to type out what you're adding. So this would be week 1, all of your hours, and then week 2. So 500, 400, 400, 350, 500. Okay, let's go ahead and add these. This is 0. That's a 0, right? Yeah. So 10, 5 and 5, 10. So 1 here. So 4 plus 1 is 5, plus 5 is 10, 14, 19, 23. So 2,300 minutes in week 1. Week 2, we've got a 0, a 5. 5 plus 4, 9, 13, 16, 21. So 2,150 in week 2. Let's go ahead and add those together. This is going to be 0, 5, 4, 4. Okay, so we have 4,450 minutes. Now we want to convert those to hours. Okay, so so we know there are 60 minutes in an hour, so we want to divide this by 60. So let's go ahead and set that up over here. 60 minutes in an hour. Okay, so 60 does not go into 44, so it could go into 445. So let's think about how many times 6 might go into 400 or 44. So 7 times, I think that might be 7. Okay, let's try that out. So because 6 times 7 is 42. So I think that might give us a good one. So let's see, this would be 420. 60 times 7. Let me just check that in my calculator right here. Yeah, okay. So then we want to subtract this. That's going to be 5. So 25 will come down, 250. And that should be 4. 60 times 4 is going to be 240. So that's going to give you a remainder of 10. Get a little more room here. All right, so 74 hours with a remainder of 10 minutes. So she worked 74 hours and 10 minutes. And I just do want to check this in a calculator, so I'm going to pull this over here. And let's go ahead and check this before we give our final answer. Okay, so we had 400, 500, 450, 500, 450. That was 2,300. Then our second week, we're just going to go ahead and add that 500, 400, 400, 350, 500. Okay, so 4,450, that was what we had gotten. And then we're going to divide that by 60, 60 minutes in an hour. So 74.16. Okay, so that 0.16 is just that decimal here, 1 or 10 divided by 60. Okay, so 74 hours and 10 minutes is the amount of time this clerk worked. And then you would want to answer the second question based off of the original timesheet. Does Mary need to pay the front office clerk overtime? In the original problem, it says Mary should also keep the front office clerk under 40 hours per week to avoid overtime pay. So 40 hours per week over 2 weeks would be 80 hours. And she is under that in this case. So that would be no overtime for this example. So you would want to check that against the original numbers and answer the question accordingly.